this video I'm going to be making it specifically for M104 at IUK. I am dealing with story problems that are out of section 3-2A and 3-2B, where we normally split this section up. It is going to be problem solving involving a system of linear equations. So we're going to define our variables, write a system of equations, and then solve. Okay, this one just kind of another example of a type of problem that you might see in dealing with this system of linear equations here. Alright, so we've got a student that has two test scores. The difference between the scores is 2, and the mean or average of the scores is 79. What are the two test scores? Okay, so we always start with defining our variables. Okay, so you always go to the question, see what the question is asking for. It says, what are the two test scores? So that's how we're going to define our variables. We're going to let x equal the first test score, and we're going to let y equal the second test score. Okay, so we've got our variables defined. Now we need to write our system of equations. Okay, so we're going to have to write two equations. Alright, now what pieces of information do we know? Well, we know the difference between the scores is 2. Okay, so my first one is the difference between them, so x minus y is equal to 2, because difference means subtract. Alright, the second one is the mean or average of the scores is 79. Well, we know that to average them, we would add them up and divide by 2. So if I added the two scores up and then divided by 2, that's going to be 79. Okay, now for that right there, technically is our system of equations, except this is not a very nice equation to work with. So what we want to do is we want to kind of rewrite this equation. If I multiply both sides of that equation by 2, it's going to make the equation so much easier to work with. Okay, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Alright, that way the 2's will cross out. Okay, meaning that my new system of equations is going to, that top equation is not going to change, so x minus y equals 2. But on this one now, I'm going to have an x plus a y is equal to 158. Alright, this just makes these two equations way easier to deal with. Okay, now at this point, let's separate our work here. Okay, so actually we've been doing about 3 steps for each one of these. This one actually is going to be a whole lot simpler, just simply because of the equations. And again, I'm going to use substitution, but you would not have to use substitution at all, because elimination would be set up really nice here. Since you've got x plus, a positive y and a negative y, elimination would work as well. And so normally I do substitution, but let's go ahead and do this one as elimination because of how easy this is going to work. Okay, so if I do choose elimination, let's choose this one as elimination. I just think it's going to be a whole lot easier. So elimination method. Okay, so if it's an elimination method, alright, I'm going to take those two equations. So x minus y equals 2, and then I'm going to add to that x plus y is equal to 158. Alright, so when I add these going down, this one and this one is going to fall out, or the elimination method. So adding here, I'm going to have a 2x, and then 158 plus 2 more is going to be 160. Alright, divide by 2, I've got x equals 80. Okay, so now I've got first one. I'm going to plug it back in to one of the two original equations so that I can figure out what the other one's going to be. I think I'm going to plug it into this one just because I don't want to have to deal with that negative y there. Okay, so plug into original equation. And I'm going to choose the second one, so x plus y is equal to 158. I know that x is 80, so 80 plus y equals 158. If I go ahead and subtract 80 from both sides, I'm going to have y is equal to 78. Okay, so I've got my two scores here, and at this point then we're done, and that was a lot faster than doing substitution, although you could have done substitution. Alright, so let's kind of summarize what we've got here. We've got our first test score is going to be 80, and our second test score is going to be 78. Okay, so just another different type of problem solving that you could do with a system of linear equations. And here again, for those people that are in my 104 class, I'm just trying to give you a variety of different types of problems that you might encounter, because obviously I cannot do an example of every type of problem you're going to encounter, but the setup on these are going to be primarily the same. Definitely thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying the videos and they're helping, please share with a friend so that they can benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.